A former convicted murderer gets a new lease on life. That's our top story in your Barbados Today Evening News Update for Wednesday, July 31. So glad you can join us. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. After spending nearly a decade on death row, Omar DeCosta Holder walked free today. Holder of Passage Road, Haggett Hall, St. Michael, was convicted of the March 31, 2005 murders of Sakina Waldron and her 2 infant children. In a ruling handed down today, the Court of Appeal said the Crown's case against Holder was predicated largely on several oral statements as well as a written statement which he allegedly dictated while in police custody but refused to sign. It said in the absence of any eyewitness, fingerprint, DNA, or any other forensic evidence to corroborate the statements, his case should have never gone to the jury. Accompanied by attorney Kyle Walks, who filled in for Queen's Counsel Andrew Pilgrim, Holder told Barbados Today he feels vindicated.
To tarnish my reputation, my character and everything, my father sees and knows and delivered me from the hardship that I was going through. And I got enough to thank the Lord for. And like 14 years that I maintained it, and like the same person as a changed man. And people will see it gradually as they walk and talk the talk. So I just want to thank Pilgrim for your hard working workers, associates, for the good job they put up and do. And I just want to let my family know as I see them coming. And it's nice to be free.
Holder, who said he was looking forward to reuniting with his family, appealed to young people to stay clear of crime.
It's the wake up and smell the coffee, cocktail in the better roses, and think before you do things, boy. Jail rough. Also, I think it's hard in tea, folk sugar, rice, folk taste, anything. It's a horrible place to be, so I wouldn't even want my enemy good here.
Anglican priest Reverend Reginald Knight has been barred from pastoral duties for 3 months. Back in May, Knight, who was also a tutor at the Barbados Community College, landed in hot water after he leaked questions and responses to the Core 101 examination for ethics and citizenship. In a statement today, the Anglican diocese said Knight will spend the period undergoing reflection, personal and professional development with the help of a senior member of the clergy to be appointed by Anglican Bishop Michael Maxwell. Bishop Maxwell said while Knight has expressed deep sorrow for the hurt and damage his actions have caused the church, the diocese and his own ministry, it is appropriate that he takes the time to deeply reflect and receive necessary counsel. The Barbados Water Authority says it's making steady progress in restoring water to several areas across the island affected by outages, including Jackson and Lodge Hill, St. Michael, Shop Hill and Shop Hill, St. Thomas. BWA General Manager Kifroy Halliday explained that over the last 24 hours, the authority has been faced with 15 burst mains varying in size from 4 to 12 inches. He, however, says workmen are continuing efforts to fix the problem and services in affected areas will improve throughout the evening.
We are happy to report that the 7-inch main in Old Town St. James has been successfully repaired. We have also repaired those mains in the Jackson area, which over the past several days was affected by at least 3 bursts. And as a consequence, we were not able to supply adequate water to the Shop Hill distribution system. As it stands now, the Waterford pumping station is back online. The Lodge Hill Reservoir is slowly replenishing, and in turn the Shop Hill Reservoir will be replenished, and consequently we will be able to restore water supply to the Shop Hill distribution system.
In other news this Wednesday, management at the Barbados Port Inc. have been undergoing lie detector tests. This was revealed today by Port Chairman Lisa Cummins as she responded to comments made by Senator Caswell Franklin during debate on the Customs Amendment number 3 bill in the Senate. Franklin charged that during his contribution that customs officers will soon be subjected to take lie detector tests. But Cummins said senior staff at the port were doing just that, having volunteered to be tested.
Quite a bit has been said over many months on the issues relating to port security. Mr. President, Senator Franklin made reference to who should sign what and in what context, and I won't go into that, but what I can say is that as it relates to the port, our managers have led by example starting first, and I too will subject my own self as chairman of the board to the same process. So we are leading by example, Mr. President.
Expect top-notch security for this year's Barbados Light and Power 4-day morning jam. At a news conference today along the mighty Griner Highway to discuss the event, producer of this year's jam, Wayne Webster, said they have worked with the Royal Barbados Police Force, the Barbados Defence Force, and private security firms to ensure revelers are safe.
We have engaged the services of the security experts in Barbados to help us to ensure that we can provide for the safety of the 30 or so thousand persons who would either be revelers or spectators that are on the road from Queen's Park to the mighty Grinding Highway on that day. And yes, we have reviewed, examined, looked at all the risk factors involved, and we have provided the type of security that we think would answer to those issues.
Webster says the NCF has welcomed 5 new bands to the event, and despite a fall-off in the total number of bands, which moves from 42 last year to 30 this time around, there has been no decline in revelers.
Smaller bands were merging together from last year, so rather than individuals try to bring their own bands, what they have done is join together and brought larger bands actually. So let's say, for example, 2 bands of 150 last year will now be 1 band of 300. So the same number of revelers will still be participating, notwithstanding the different number of registered bands.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
On the regional scene in Jamaica, a high-level investigation is underway into the seizure of 193 kilograms of cocaine valued at over 1.5 billion Jamaican dollars. We get more in this report from Television Jamaica.
It's reported that about 5:45 in the morning, the Jamaica Defence Force Coast Guard conducted an anti-narcotic operation southeast of Moran Point, St. Thomas, where they removed 50 bales floating in the water. They were taken to the narcotics headquarters, and during processing, 998 parcels, each containing white substance resembling cocaine, were found. No arrest has been made in connection with the find.
And on the international front, a second person has died from Ebola on the Democratic Republic of Congo's border with Rwanda, raising fears that the deadly illness could spread. The miner died this morning in the city of Goma, home to 2 million people, authorities said. More than 1,600 people have died of Ebola in Democratic Republic of Congo since the outbreak began in August last year, but those have been in more remote areas. The World Health Organization called the outbreak a global health emergency last week. And that's news, but for the very latest, visit us at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook, and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media and bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. And you can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM and Capital Media HD 99.3 FM. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Good evening.